Chef, Chef Lynn.
It's the 36-hour sale at Furniture Row, so get ready because everything is on sale. Save on living, dining, and bedroom, plus 4 years no-interest financing. But hurry, the 36-hour sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
Okay, spring break is going to be here for the family before you know it. The weekend is simply going to be here, or perhaps just because it's a Tuesday in Chattanooga. There is never a bad time to go and pay a visit to the Tennessee Aquarium. Tom Benson gets to pay a visit each and every single day.
I like to get across the street because my office is actually in the IMAX building, so I like to get across the street as often as I can.
Yeah.
But sometimes I have those cravings to go see the octopus or to go visit the catfish.
Well, I mean, the fact that you're dealing with nature, even though the fish are contained, they'll have a different behavior, I guess, each and every time. But y'all got a brand spanking new exhibit that you're excited about.
Yeah, super excited. The Ridges to Rivers Gallery opened March 1st, and we're so excited about this because it really gives people an opportunity to get face-to-face with a lot of the fish that live right around us in this underwater rainforest that we're surrounded by, starting with the Tennessee River and then working the way back into these headwater streams where myriads of very colorful fish thrive in our area. You know, 66% of all the freshwater fish in the United States are within about a 150-mile radius of downtown Chattanooga.
You're kidding.
So that's 2/3 of the fish. And a lot of these are super colorful, tiny fish that live in these headwater streams. Some of them are imperiled or in fact endangered. And so it's nice for us to have an opportunity to bring people face to face with these colorful fish, help them appreciate what we have in our backyard, so to speak, and learn ways that they can work with our scientists at the Conservation Institute to protect these species.
So let me ask you kind of a dumb question, but when we were watching that video, and I thought, yeah, a lot of us are seeing these fish for the first time because your water is so clear.
Absolutely.
Our local water is not.
Well, it depends. You know, when you get into bigger bodies of water like the Tennessee River, yes, it seems a little bit murky. And if you were to put on a mask, I've been scuba diving in the Tennessee River and the visibility is pretty limited. But if you put on a mask and snorkel in a place like the Conasauga River in the Cherokee National Forest,
it's nice and
the
clear.
water is crystal clear just like that. And so when you go to a river like the Conasauga River, you have this appreciation for all of the life that's there. I think there's something like 56 species of fish in the Conasauga River alone. And in that stream exhibit that you saw on the video there, our big rushing stream tank that's in the Ridges to Rivers Gallery, there's 24 species of fish in that exhibit. So again, gives you an appreciation, a cross section of these lively streams that are all around us.
It's funny how you can hear information multiple times and then all of a sudden there's something that you hear that makes it click for you. So, I mean, I've known about our biodiversity here for a long time, but to hear you say that 66% of the freshwater fish are within a 150-mile radius of downtown, right? Are we a little bit unique in that statistic?
Absolutely. This is one of the most biodiverse locations for a temperate region in the world. And so when you look at those bright heat maps, if you will, of biodiversity, you see them here, you see them in Southeast Asia, you see them in other places. Certainly the tropics, the Amazon and places like Costa Rica are much more biodiverse than we are. But for a temperate zone,
how did we get so lucky?
Well, it has a lot to do with our geographic location, our geography, our geology. You know, we have some elevation and some terrain, and we also have the meteorology, if you want to fold that in there. The weather and climate over time has been very favorable for all of these species to adapt and really thrive in this area. So it's part of the reason that we're known as the hay fever capital of the world. You know,
the valley, essentially.
We have all these plants, we have valleys, and we've got ridges. And so all of this plays into the fact that we have the different plants and animals that are living here. So most of the turtles in North America live here. A lot of the salamanders, a lot of the freshwater mussels, almost all the freshwater mussels are right here in the southeast. So again, it's a really rich place to live, but it's also important for us all to be good citizens in taking care of the water quality. Tennessee River is our source of drinking water. So if we're taking care of the water quality here, good for us as humans, but it's good for all life that thrives in water.
My middle brother retired from the Fish and Wildlife Service.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, he was a biologist and worked down at Fort Stewart in South Georgia. So he'll be coming up for a wedding this summer, and one of the first things he said was, we're going to want to go to the aquarium while we are there. And it's easy to forget that I think it's human nature that whatever is in your own backyard, be it nature, schools, the symphony, whatever, you tend to not give as much respect to almost.
Sometimes we don't take advantage of it, and I think
Yeah.
that, you know, one of the things we hope this gallery sparks is an interest for families to get out together and explore nature, because we have so many streams and waterfalls and beautiful places to get out and enjoy nature that oftentimes zoos and aquariums are that first entry point to spark that interest and curiosity in what's in the natural world around them.
Yeah.
And that's why the Tennessee Aquarium is always focused on freshwater, because it is our most important resource and it surrounds us. We live, again, right in the middle of an underwater rainforest.
Are y'all going to do the camp again this summer?
We are, yes. So thanks for reminding everybody that summer camp registration starts on the 6th of March.
Okay.
And for for members, and then for non-members on the 13th. We have about a dozen camp offerings. They start as early as June 12th and run through July 28th. Ages 5 through 14. We've got the week-long camps, and then we've got some specialty camps for teens 13 to 16. Those are 3-day camps, and Julie, those will be July 5th through the 7th. Super cool, because there'll be a nocturnal expedition where you get to look for night creatures that come out, and there will also be, during that one camp, an opportunity to sleep in the deep or stay overnight at the aquarium for that camp.
You know, as a parent, I think we all can get caught up in our lives, and you don't always realize how you're living until somebody points it out to you. And I was at an event at Baylor a couple of nights ago, and a statistic that was shared was that kids today, on average, spend 7 minutes a day outside, and 7 hours on a screen.
Yeah.
That's frightening.
And, you know, we didn't have the screens, so that ratio was very much reversed. Certainly TV was there, but my guess is when we were growing up that we probably spent 7 hours outside, and maybe the 7-minute average.
So you're powerless as a parent to always say, go outside and play, but you sure can sign them up for camp.
Yeah, or take them on hikes and make sure that they have these opportunities to connect with nature, because really we become better people if we understand the environment and how it works. And when we see things that happen, the train derailment in Ohio where the water was a big issue, the air quality, it reminds us how special we have it here, and that the water is safe enough for us to go fishing, to go paddleboarding or kayaking, to have Ironman here, to have people swimming in our river. It's a very special thing. And again, when it's your drinking water, you want to do everything you can to protect it and make sure that it stays good for today and generations to come.
So Earth Day's around the corner. That's going to be coming up soon. Just people should really watch about littering. Even a straw wrapper eventually finds itself into our water source.
And it's encouraging to see people at recycling centers and taking their children there and learning those lessons early that help them become good environmental stewards of the future.
With the Ridges to Rivers exhibit, did we get new fish along the way?
Yeah, we've got several different species. The tangerine darter is sort of the star of the show, if you will, because that's the clementine who is the ambassador that leads kids through an exploration of this gallery. We have a clementine mascot, and we'll have, during spring break, Ridges to Rivers activity books for kids that come to the aquarium while supplies last.
Are these all things that are created like totally in-house? Does the aquarium staff conceptualize?
Yes, and we're so lucky to have such a talented staff in many departments to envision these types of experiences and then to bring them to life. It's about a 2-year process from the time that the idea is first presented to how much space do we have, how much do we need for vital life support systems like filtration and chillers, make sure the water temperature is just right, the chemistry is just right, and then making it a great experience for our guests. So you do what's best for the animals first, and then you look at it from the visitor perspective. And this new Sturgeon Bend touch exhibit is going to be fantastic. We had a sturgeon touch experience previously, but we've taken out that middle pillar so there's perfect viewing. So the educator or the volunteer that's there helping impart information to our guests about how we're saving the sturgeon, how more than 20 years of work has gone into restoring the lake sturgeon in the Tennessee River. We put back more than 330 lake sturgeon into the Tennessee and Cumberland rivers with our partners, and all this collaborative work takes a long time. So again, it's sort of a story of success, but it's also a story of if people would have prevented them from disappearing in the Tennessee River more than 50 years ago, then all this time, energy, and resources wouldn't have had to go into place. And again, when you look at fresh water, let's make sure we protect it first so we don't have to spend a lot of time and money cleaning it up if something happens.
Well, go see the exhibit. It's in the old part of the aquarium, which is still kind of my favorite.
Yeah.
It was the original one.
The River Journey building.
The River Journey building. teaandaqua.org is where you can go to get your membership. You should certainly have one. Sign up for camps. You should certainly do that. And then go see the exhibit and say hello to the penguins while you're there in the new part of the aquarium. 800-262-0695 is your phone number. Thanks, Tom.
Spring is the perfect time for a refresh, and at Ashley, you'll find the pieces you love. Shop now with financing options for every budget. Get 60 months no interest with no down payment. The Orange event is happening now, only at Ashley.
Your authorized Triton and Tracker boats dealer is Island Cove Outdoor Center on Highway 58. Come see the new Triton boats in stock now. Island Cove has the largest selection of Tracker boats with